is our 3-page fact find, and this is what you need to complete for us in order for us to build your financial plan. So it just is some very basic, simple details about yourself, about your employment, so what you're earning, if you're self-employed, and if you take dividends. This section then is any savings or investments that you might already have, whether that's cash bank account, or you might have a stocks and shares ISA, or whatever it may be. The next page is about your pensions, and this is only people in what's called a defined contribution scheme. So if you're like a teacher or a doctor and you're on what's known as a final salary scheme, just put the information into here and then we'll build that in ourselves. The next couple of sections is just if you own any property and any debt you might have. So the classic example is you own your house and then you have a mortgage on it. The final page is probably the scariest of all. This is your expenditure analysis. Most people will know if their income meets their expenses, but they don't actually know where they spend all their money at. So this could well be an eye-opener for some, but if you can just complete it as best you can, fill in as much as you can, and if you're not sure, overestimate, because then that's a more conservative approach when it comes to building your financial plan. And once you've done that, you'll send that off to us, and then we will build your financial plan from there. So once you've completed the fact find and sent it off to us, then we'll build your financial plan. This is the software we'll use, and I'm just going to very quickly run through some of the things that it points out. So we start with a very simple timeline, basically starting at the age you are today, retiring at 65 and dying at 100. We can then change this all about for you and personalize it, add in different timeline events, whatever it is that will make this proper for you. So you can see here I've added in getting married next year, a car paid off, and then paying off the mortgage in about 30 years time. And then through your fact find, we've then been able to put in employment, savings, investments, pensions, property, debt, expenses, and then we can pull all that together and see what that actually means. So very simply, if it's blue, you can afford it. If it's red, you can't. These lines, this is your basic expenses and this is your total expenses. So the blue line is basically what you live on each day. The black line is your total expenses, which includes things like holidays, paying for university fees, whatever it is you've built in. We can then play about with this, show you what that actually means. So let's say you made less, 1% less than we would expect. You can see there's a lot more red, so we can't afford that life. We can then simulate how much we actually need to save to make sure that we can afford it. And then you can see it's come up that we need to be saving an extra £10,700 a year so that we can afford this last span of our life. So that's just one of the things that we can do using this, and in the next couple of videos we'll show you lots of other different uses.